Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Jordan here, bringing you episode 4 of our Pittsburgh Penguins franchise mode here in NHL 26. Today's video, we're going to get all of the off-season stuff taken care of. That includes the draft, re-sign phase, and free agency. So we have no comments to go over in this video, but just really quickly, what my plan is to trade up in the draft to acquire Vijo Bajork. Now, he is a center playmaker. Hopefully, he is medium elite, but we honestly don't know. Now, we are not going to trade up for Gavin McKenna. We already have him in one series, and we'll definitely get him in more series on the channel as the year goes on. But right now, we're just going to hold off on that. One guy that kind of interests me is Aiden Sigalet. He is a power forward. He's NHL ready, it says. He's already got quick release. Also, Casanu here really interests me as a defenseman. He should be medium elite, but we just don't know anything about him. So our guy Bajork here is slated to go 7th. Now, the Ottawa Senators and the Winnipeg Jets both want to trade away their picks, as well as the New Jersey Devils, the Islanders. You can see the Golden Knights there as well. And we have pick number 14. Now, I don't know if we have trade value to move up to pick 7 without trading away our pick. We could ask Chris Letang once again to waive his clause, but I don't think he's going to. Okay, wow, guys. Chris Letang actually does decide to waive his contract, his no trade clause. Very, very happy about that. Wow, I did not think we were ever going to be able to trade him. So we can definitely add Chris Letang here to the Ottawa Senators. Now, I know that we had talked about keeping Crosby, keeping Letang, keeping Malkin, letting these guys retire. But I'll be honest, a lot of that talk was because I just never thought we'd be able to trade them. They wouldn't waive their clauses, and we would just have to let them go. And that's the case with Malkin, although we're definitely going to re-sign him so we can at least control his rights. But hey, now we can trade away Chris Letang. So I'm going to offer Letang and a third for the 7th overall pick. Trade rejected. The value is too far off. All right, guys, I'm trying Letang, the 2nd, and the 3rd round pick from Colorado. Hopefully this trade goes through. Trade accepted. There we go. Chris Letang. It's been nice knowing you, buddy. And now we have 2 top 15 picks in this draft. And you can see Gavin McKenna did go 1st overall to the Nashville Predators. But honestly, I think we're just going to take our guy Bajork. So let's start simming some picks here and make sure that our guy goes. Wow, what a solid top 3 in the draft. Franchise medium, elite high, and then an elite medium. And then Casanu, let's see who goes 5th. Steinberg, and he is 77 overall. And there we go, Ruberek. So our guy Bajork falls to us. So with the 7th pick in the 2026 NHL entry draft, your Pittsburgh Penguins are proud to select from the SHL Vijo Bajork. And there we go. He's a medium elite center. He's going to hop right into the AHL this season. We're not going to leave him over there in Europe. And he's already got sended as well, which is really nice. And now I think we can just sim a few more picks here because I want to make sure the guys that I would like to target are still available when we pick at 14. So let's take a quick look at the draft class here. And yeah, I want either of these guys here. So we are just going to sim a couple more picks. Wow. Oh my, this is who I would have taken as well. He is medium elite, 81 overall out of the draft. This kid is going to be something special. What a steal for the Islanders. So now we definitely have a good choice here in Chase Reed as well as Igor Kozanov. Now we know for a fact that these guys are probably both 2 years ETA. I like that Chase Reed is an offensive defenseman. I just don't really like his size. Kozanov is also pretty small. So you know what? We've got Chase Reed pinned. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Penguins, Chase Reed. Honestly, not too bad. Top 4D, high 71 overall. He's going to, I believe, go back to the Sioux for 2 more seasons and then hopefully make the jump to the NHL. And wow, I should have maybe went with my gut a little bit on Kozanov. He's already NHL ready. That is a fantastic draft pick from the Hurricanes. Let's just simulate here up to our next pick. I'm just realizing here as well from trading my second round pick, I never got a shot at that goalie. So I'm going to take a quick look and see what he ended up turning out to be. I'm assuming he is medium elite. I'm just not sure. Yeah, there he is, medium elite. That one's going to sting a little bit, guys, but honestly, I think it's a lot better to get those two forwards. We'll definitely be able to find goalies via trade or free agency for sure. All right, guys, we're not going to wait too long here. We're going to draft Jesus Doherty at 78th. Definitely a jump on the draft board for him, but there you go, top 4D. Honestly, it's just about getting good value for every pick, and he's going to have some trade value. He most likely does not develop, but that is fine with me. Again, he's got some decent trade value. We're going to go ahead here and probably pick up a goalie now. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pick up a goalie. We're going to jump up a little bit on an unknown here, Kirill Vasilyev. Fringe starter, not too bad. And with pick number 139, we're also going to take another goalie. We're going to jump up here a little bit and take Nolan Cashman since he's got that starter potential. And then this will be the last pick of this draft that I'm going to make myself. And we're going to take a chance here on Sergei Novostelicev. Top 6 D-Lo. All right, let's get this draft done. We didn't do everything we wanted to do in this draft. We have some players we're going to trade away. But trading Letang, that really changed my view on what things we should do. So we've got the re-sign phase here. I am not going to show too much of this. I'm actually going to cut the recording here. I'll get this wrapped up, and we will go a lot more in depth with some trades we are going to make. We are going to trade away Tristan Jarry, as well as we will trade away Ricard Raquel. All right, guys, this is the contract we are going to offer to Evgeny Malkin, $7.1 million for 1 year with a modified no trade. And then with Ville Kuvanen, we're going to take the bridge deal approach. I do not want to get screwed over with some bad contracts. So we're going to offer him the 3-year deal at $2.6 million. And he accepts right away. And then we are going to be letting go of pretty much everybody else. We will qualify Joseph. We will also qualify Jared Anderson Dolan, as well as Poulin. And that's it, guys. Everybody else that is a skater can be let go. Goalie-wise, we will also be letting go of Larson. So let's just advance a day here and see if the couple guys will resign. Malkin rejects his contract. That's okay. We can keep negotiating with him. I'm going to offer him $7.85 million this time. We definitely have the money to offer him exactly what he is asking, but I want to keep the cap hit down in case there is some decent players to go after in free agency. I know we are definitely entering a rebuild phase, but if there is a 25-year-old unrestricted free agent that we can pay a bit of money, I want to do that. And there we go. Evgeny Malkin decides to come back to Pittsburgh, which is great. I like the idea of him and Crosby retiring together, or at least playing out the rest of their careers together. Like maybe one will retire a year before the other. But it's awesome to see, like, they are the thumbnail for this series. They're the face of the franchise. So it's nice to see them both here for at least one more season. Now, like I said, we are going to be letting go of everybody else. So let's advance here right up to free agency. Poulin accepts his qualifying offer. So Robertson is a restricted free agent. That's too bad. I definitely would have went after him. He fits the bill. Doesn't really look like these are all the restricted free agents. Doesn't look like there's going to be too many good unrestricted free agents that we could target. They're all just older. None of them really make sense. Um, except I kind of like Patrick Line. Again, we have to hit the cap floor. Patrick Line is 28. He's 85 overall. Maybe not on a 5-year deal since he's 28, but to help us hit the cap floor, if we do a 2-year deal with a modified clause, it's going to be full and we'll give you 62%. And then we're going to jack up the money to, I don't know, $9 million. Let's see, will he take $9 million? There you go, Patrick Line. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're not going to make too many moves like that. We obviously, two things. We have to field an NHL roster, and we have to hit the cap floor. Kesselring is an unrestricted free agent. He's 26 years of age. He wants a 3-year deal at $4.4 million. I'm going to offer him $5 million for 3 years. Hopefully he does accept that as well, but he is not getting a clause. So there we go. We added Michael Kesselring as well. Now we've got a few trades to make, guys. So give me a few minutes here. I'm going to scope out some trades for Rickard Rakell and Tristan Jarry. All right, guys. So I found a team here that kind of makes sense for Tristan Jarry. It's the Calgary Flames. And they want Tristan Jarry. Now, they want to give up a 5th-round pick. I don't think we're going to get it, but we're going to try. Yeah, trade rejected. So we're going to take another look here at draft picks. I'll take a 7th rounder for Tristan Jarry. This is definitely more fair. And again, we just want Jarry off our books. And, he doesn't really fit the team. I want to go full steam ahead with Shelovs while we're in this rebuild. And there we go. We get rid of Tristan Jarry, and we get a 7th round pick in return. All right, guys. Finding a trade for Rickard Rakell has honestly been a little difficult. I didn't want to just trade for picks because the teams that, for one, that he'll go to, because if you recall, he has a modified no trade. Most of them are playoff teams or have a good shot at making the playoffs, right? Which is the Ottawa Senators. And Bill Zonin, he's 69 overall at 19. I just don't think he's going to develop, and he still has good trade value, and they want him. Now, we're going to go after Carter Yakimchuk. He is already listed as a depth defender. He can get right into the AHL this season if we want him to, or he can make the jump to the big leagues. He's that offensive defenseman. I think he's really going to fit well alongside some of our other defense prospects. And the one thing I find is it can be quite difficult to get good defense prospects. So let's use the drafts to worry more about forwards, and let's just keep trading for these elite level defense prospects. I don't think this is going to go through, but we are going to try it anyways. Trade rejected. The value is just too far off, which to me, that totally makes sense. So this is the trade I've got cooked up now. I added Braz and Doherty. Now I know we just drafted this guy, but quite frankly, we all play this game mode, right? He's 59 overall. These guys rarely ever develop. So I'm fine with giving them another prospect. And then I also added on Tyler Clevin here. He's 80 overall. We need some NHL ready defensemen. And you have to remember, this is the team we traded Chris Letang to. So if we take a quick look at their decor, it is absolutely stacked. Sanderson, Shabbat, Letang, Marino, Spence, Jensen, and Zub. Clevin is what, the 8th or 9th defenseman? He's just not going to get any playing time. So let's bring him here where he's going to get all the playing time in the world. Hopefully this trade goes through. If not, I'll throw on a draft pick just to sweeten the deal. See, will this go through? Trade accepted. There we go. We just had to add a future 3rd round pick there to sweeten the deal. Now we've got our 2 main pieces traded away. We've got to sign a few contracts here. We need to redo our AHL system as well as get some depth pieces for the NHL roster. All right, guys. So one defenseman that intrigues me in free agency is Timothy Liljegren. He can play top 4 minutes if we need him to, or just man the bottom pair. We're gonna offer him a 3-year contract at about 3.8 million, and there we go. He accepts right away. And then we are gonna bring in Mad Sogard for the AHL on a 2-year deal, 1.375. He accepts. That's good to see. Now, I'm just going to keep going here, get some depth pieces again for the NHL and AHL, and I'll definitely make sure to highlight for you guys everyone that signs for us. And then one piece of business as well we need to get dealt with right away is Sidney Crosby. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to be like real life where he just signs for $8.7 million. I wish. So we're going to offer him a 1-year deal at $16 million. Hopefully he accepts that, but he might not because he will understand that we are a rebuilder. I'm not letting him hit free agency. I think if I gave him the max money, he would definitely resign. I just want to wait to do that just so I know what kind of contracts we're looking for like elsewhere, right? We've got Lekaramaki as well, who needs a new deal. McGroarty needs a new deal. Kalevin, Pickering, right? So I don't want to give him all the money when there is some other contracts that have to be dealt with as well. All right, guys, we have offered a few contracts. We've signed a few just depth pieces for both the AHL and NHL. We also got to see if Crosby accepts, as well as some coaches and scouts. So we're just going to start advancing the day here. I feel like we've had a very good off season, and there we go. Our scouts are starting to accept. But anyways, as I was saying, I feel like we've had a very good off season. Again, this team knows what it is, and it's not a winning club. We are definitely full on tank here, especially if we can add Landon DuPont. So I lost his name there for a sec. But if we can add Landon DuPont into our, system, like that's gonna kind of kickstart the rebuild, I would hope. You can see we got this AHL goalie coach. He accepts. Nice. This AHL head coach. Now, I went after him because he fits the exact same scheme as Dan Muse. That way, guys, when we get players in the AHL, if they fit line one in the AHL, they will fit line one in the NHL, and so on. It will help us be a little bit more aggressive where we get a guy like Bajork, for example. He is projected to replace Crosby. Now, if he's not going to fit on the first line with Wes McMillan, he's not going to fit in Crosby's spot, and we might want to trade him for somebody who will. As well as we have both scouts in the NHL and AHL so that we can try to scout guys that fit the coaches that we're going to have. There we go. Sid the Kid stays. So this will not be his last season in Pittsburgh. He will have at least one more after this if he doesn't retire. So, all right, with everything underway here, everything is completed. We got our scouts, our coaches, as well as we've made the trades we needed to make. I'm going to go ahead here and get simmed up to the regular season, and I'll show you guys what the team is looking like heading into episode number 5. All right, guys, time to get this video wrapped up, and here are your lines for year number 2 here in Pittsburgh. Koivunen up to an 84 with Crosby, and Lekaramaki who's up to an 83. So this first line, they're looking good. I'm expecting big things from all 3 of those players. Now McGroarty as well up to an 83. So we've got him, Malkin, and Patrick Laine. Now Laine fits this second line perfectly. So they actually get a +2, which is really nice to see. And then we're going to go Heinen, Tomasino, Palat with Milano, Jost, and Olofsson. Now, guys, I did go ahead and sign both Victor Olofsson as well as Sonny Milano to matching 1-year, $6 million deals. We needed to hit the cap floor as well as get a little bit more depth here in the NHL. And I thought they were 2 perfect players for that. And maybe if they pop off on that 4th line, they'll get a little bit of trade value and we can move them at the deadline. Now, defensively, I got to be honest, this is where it's a crapshoot, and this is where we might have to get a new head coach. So you can see here, let me move the face cam really quickly. So, Pickering only fits the third pair and it's like halfway. Now, Wheelander was in the AHL and I called him up because he's the only defenseman that fits the first pair and it's only 75%. Graves, third pair defenseman. Now, Kesselring, 50% fit on the second pair. Garrett Joseph, he fits decent, best on the third pair, and same thing with Liljegren. But we're going to take a quick look at the AHL. Now, remember, both these coaches have the exact same scheme fit. So Siliev at top 4D high. He fits the second pair only 50%. Yakimchuk only fits the third D pair. Latch, I don't think this guy is a prospect. Brunicky, he only fits the third D pair. Caleb Jones, that's not a prospect. And Kyrou, only 50% fit on that third D pair. So this is the problem here, guys. Our coach doesn't fit the defensive prospects we have. That's going to be a big deal. Now, some of them fit the pairings enough that we might be able to go ahead and once all the players get fully developed, we might be able to make it work, but it might not work at all. So that's something we're going to have to be mindful of. Either A, we need a new head coach at some point, or B, we have to start scouting defense prospects and find players that fit our coaches. And then our goalies for this upcoming year, it's our two prospects, if you can call them that. Joel Blomqvist, starter high, and Arthur Shelofs, the medium starter. Now, I don't have high hopes in this team. The scratches are Kalevin, Brazo, and Witherspoon. And I already know the way the injuries are going to be. We're definitely going to be making quite a few roster moves when forwards go down with injury. All right, guys. So down in the AHL, we're going to rock Sprong, Bajork, and Hayes for a +1. You've got Benjamin Kindle, Philander, and Gushin, Poulin, Ilian, and Collind, and then Bardakov, Howe, and Anderson Dolan. Defensively, Siliev, Yakimchuk, Latched, Brunicky, and Jones with Kyrou. And in net, we have Sogard and Murashov. Now, we might have to get another goalie. Let me know your thoughts on that. If we need to bench Sogard so that Murashov is the guaranteed starter. And we are going to just wrap up this video taking a quick look at the draft class. Nobody's been scouted yet, but Landon DuPont, he's that medium franchise defenseman. You've got Alexis Joseph, Vesey Latinen, Crab Baffle, Jackson Jacobson, Aiden Bouchard, Rocco Pelosi, Max Penkin, Luca Blonda, and then rounding out your top 10 is Brock England. Now, we should have a top 10 pick in this draft. We are full on tank. If we come out of the gates and we are winning too many games, I'm going to fire sell some of our forward depth. I'm not willing to trade Malkin or Crosby at this point in time. And I'm obviously not going to trade McGroarty, Lecker-Mackey, or Kuvanen. So there's only so much I'll be able to do. But on paper, our roster is atrocious. There is no reason why we should be a playoff team. And then goalies here. We've got a few. We definitely need to get goalies scouted out in this season for sure, is that's kind of the one thing we're really lacking is a top goalie prospect. If we look at goalies there, I mean, Blomqvist is a starter high. Goalies are late bloomers. There's definitely a chance he can grow, but I don't trust him to become the franchise goalie we need. And same thing in the system. Murashov is a 77 overall. Now he projects cap-wise to be an NHL goalie, but that doesn't mean that's actually going to happen. If we take a look here, though, forward-wise as well, we have a few top 6 forwards already in the NHL. Same thing defensively. We have Willander and Pickering already in the NHL. In the system, I would say defensively, we are kind of set. You've got Chase Reed there. Remember, he was our second first-round pick. He's going to take a couple years to develop. But Siliev, he'll be in the NHL next season. Yakimchuk, he'll be in the NHL next season. Even Harrison Bruneke, like he'll be in the NHL next season. After that, that's where it drops off. But defensively, I say we're sitting pretty good for just the beginning of a rebuild. It's forward wise where we really struggle. I mean, we do have Bajork. Ilian possibly can grow. Same thing with Kendall. And then what? There's Will Horkoff, who's still in the OHL. It's not looking good. We really need a good draft. And at the deadline, we are for sure going to target more picks than prospects because I want to start getting our system filled out, even if it's just guys who end up developing for the AHL. That's fine with me. If the player is a perfect fit for that second line, then I want to keep him because that will help us develop prospects in the future. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this offseason. What grade would you give us? Now, I know as a team, I would grade the team probably like a D. You have to remember we're a rebuild. I think our offseason was solid. I would give it a solid maybe B or a B+. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'm super excited for episode 5, where we will get the season simulation underway. And that episode will go from the start of the season to the trade deadline. And then episode 6 will be the trade deadline as well as getting simmed up to the draft. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps me out a lot, as well as subscribe so you don't miss any more awesome franchise mode content that's coming in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and YouTube will see you in the next one.